Hey everyone, before this episode begins, I want to let you know that Cian, who runs the pod fan page, has made an absolutely delightful pod video, just like the one he made on The Gentleman. This one is from our review of The Lighthouse. It's hilarious, it's great, it's creative and well edited and fun, and yeah, just awesome. So that's down below in the description. Click it, watch it, it's a good time. And yeah, thank you, Cian. That is wonderful. And yeah, now on to the pod. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 87th episode, probably, I mean, this might put it up later, who knows, of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies. Silence.
Soft reboot.
I just think about all the things I've done. Oh, God, how'd I get here?
Here we go again.
We talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and bounty-eating friend.
And hunting buddy. I am Waltz, but in real life.
Oh, I didn't, yeah.
Oh, you didn't clock it?
No.
Do you get it now?
I wish I didn't.
Do you get it?
No, I do.
Okay.
Actually, it's a Waltz reference, so I'll let it slide. But otherwise, I would have kicked you the out of my house. Yeah, so we're back for the triumphant trilogy of podcast episodes.
Have we ever done, like...
Three?
Like, I know we've done news and mini reviews, but have we ever done, like, a third of a specific thing?
No. I mean, we will in the future, because we're unoriginal and have no ideas.
True.
So we'll just do, like...
60 versus battles.
Yeah, exactly. Or Marvel quiz number 874. But, by the way, be grateful we haven't done a quiz episode in a while, right? Don't make us go back to that
Get off our backs, alright?
It could be so much worse. Next episode definitely has to be a quiz episode.
Yeah. We laugh. It's just titled, haha.
This content is trash. So today we are doing the final, for now, installment of the Woody's collection.
Well, this is definitely
because it'll continue for years to come. But this is the final one, caught up with all the ones we've gotten.
This is the updated, up-to-date one.
So let's just quickly give a bit of a backstory. There are time codes in the description, by the way, if you want to skip around. Let's give a backstory to Woody's, for those who don't know. It all started.
Yeah.
We both open our own storybooks.
On a fateful Halloween night.
Yes. The scariest of moments.
We got driven by a scary man, that is my father, to the cinema.
A ghoul, one might call him. The ghost of Christmas past.
Mr. Skellington, or whatever he's called. Got driven to a cinema in, I don't know, people don't know, but a town in Denmark.
Lyngby, yeah.
To all my Lyngby fans out there.
The best, let's just say, it's the best cinema
It's the best cinema in Denmark.
Big shout out Lyngby Bio. Straight up, not even an ironic shout out. It's the best place.
It's just a good place, honestly. And we're like, we need to get some grub before we get this dub. Sorry.
Oh my god. I just put my hands so far on my face
that they've molded. Anyway, we needed to get some food before we
got
in the
film.
mood. When we saw the movie, which was Spectre.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, not a great movie to start our friendship on. But anyways.
No, but it happened.
And so we see American Grill. A big
fancy restaurant.
Doesn't look like it can go wrong.
No.
We go in. Of course it goes wrong. They're fully booked.
Yep.
What do? We panic. We scream. We run. We cry.
And
then we turn around and it's an angelic presence appears in the form of Woody's.
Yes.
The best restaurant cafe in the world.
Now, to be clear, it is based on Woody, I was about to say Harrelson, Allen, who by all accounts, not a good person.
Not a good person.
So,
which is
just to be clear, we're not celebrating that, and that's an unfortunate... It's like the fact that Kevin Spacey's in Baby Driver. Like, it's an unfortunate thing. It's not good, but we can't let that ruin...
Exactly.
Woody Allen probably didn't even know that cafe existed.
He probably sued them afterwards. That's probably why they shut down.
Oh my god, it's all making sense now. Well, yeah, so we went there for several years, and we now have a tradition where every time we go to the movies, pretty much...
It's called
It's called a Woody.
A Woody.
And we say, hey, like, for years now, throughout all of, like, school and stuff, we would be like, hey, you down for, like, a Woody this Friday? And then, boom, we go to Woody's. We have a great meal. We always got the same thing. We won't reveal that because that's way too intimate. But
Same spot, same meal.
yeah, we always try to get the same table.
We got in with the waiters as well.
Yeah, the waiters are cool with us, and then we see a movie afterwards. It's an amazing tradition. And then I believe November 2019. Yeah, and Woody's was no more. We saw the signs.
We saw the signs. We're like, surely not.
Like they were like stuff was being moved and like people weren't in there, and we were like, what's going on? And then eventually we just
renovating,
showed up.
and then we showed up for the meal.
It was gone. I mean, the thing is, and to this day, it still says Cafe Woody's. They haven't changed it to anything, which is f***ing stupid.
But at the same time, I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's just like, why'd you get rid of it? Yeah, so that for whatever reason, they shut it down, and so from now on, a Woody's is, as they say in Thor Ragnarok, a Woody's...
It gets worse.
Woody's gets worse.
Go on.
Woody's is a place... No. that cannot be replaced. Woody's is a people, not a place. So a Woody's is just...
I love you, bro.
Woody's is just when we go have dinner and then see a movie, which is still a great tradition. But now...
Well, now it's... we thought in the same building, American Grill opened up. Which is a really
nice, fancy, like...
steakhouse kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we opened our hearts to it.
We're like, fine.
And it accepted us. Like, it was a little bit weird at first, but we've been there, like, what is it, 4 or 5 times now?
Yeah. We'll make do,
I guess. We're slowly starting to accept it. Now, believe it or not...
I got there. After, like, months of the cinemas being closed, I show up to Lyngby, and I'm like... it's gone too.
It's gone.
They shut it down.
The 2 Woody cafes we go to.
There's also a Burger King in there and some like restaurant. We only like Woody's and American Grill. I mean,
and of course they both shut down.
Yeah, the others are fine, but they're not Woody material.
Exactly.
You know? And yeah, so I genuinely think we have some kind of like curse that we...
I think I might have triggered it 2019 April Fool's Day. Where I wrote to you jokingly saying that, yo, Woody shut down, and you believed me.
I fell for it, yeah, which is pretty embarrassing on my part. Because I April Fools'd you earlier that day, and then I still fell for your very obvious April Fool. I tried to look it up, and I was like, where does it say? And you're like, God, you're an idiot. Well, anyway, we've done 2 episodes now where we've gone through the movies that we've seen at Woody's so far. Mm-hmm. And now we're here to wrap up all the films that we've seen up to this point.
More
together, for a Woody's, you know?
It's not a Woody's if we're both not there.
Yeah, or if we see multiple people.
If one of us isn't there, if we're both not.
Yeah.
We need to be there.
It needs to be just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it.
I'm not ashamed of it either.
Okay, I'm a little ashamed.
Okay.
It's kind of really weird. My girlfriend Loki hates it.
Please send help.
My girlfriend was actually like, have fun with your boyfriend. I was like, damn
Thanks.
Right I will.
You jest, but I shall.
You think that's a joke? But we were on a podcast, which is an immortal bond.
Genuinely? It is.
Not even kidding.
Not even a joke.
Anyway, Captain Marvel, first of all. Starting off with a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
And a stinker Woody's wise. Because as a movie, it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But Woody's wise...
We've watched many bad movies at Woody's and still thought they were great because of the fun time we had. But this was just kind of like... It was kind of meh, wasn't it?
The thing... Yeah, and I think the audience... The long-time listeners understand this, but, you know, we love... The 2 of us together, arguably we love a bad movie that's funny over a great movie sometimes, you know? But, like... And so Woody's can depend on a lot of things, the quality of it, like Rampage is probably the best Woody's ever.
Yeah, the wind direction.
Yeah. The taste of the American Grill that we... it's shut down too.
Oh, God.
But this one was just a bit meh all around. Like, the movie's a bit meh, and then it wasn't bad enough to be funny. It wasn't good enough to be like Get Out, where it was amazing. It's just whatever. And I'd already seen it before then, so it was literally just because there was nothing else playing at that time, and we didn't want to see Kong Skull Island. That wasn't the same year. Never mind. But so yeah. Also, since we've talked about a lot of these movies already, I decided to spice it up a little.
Okay.
By doing our legendary, probably ripped off from the Weekly Planet. I can't even remember at this point. Trivia Jeopardy segment.
Okay, I love it.
I've written 2 pieces of trivia.
And one of them's true, one of them's false.
Yes, and keep in mind, as usual, this was minutes before you arrived, so
I'll take it with a
it's gonna be
salt.
Pretty bad in every way.
It's alright.
But
I'm happy you're realistic.
But yeah, Captain Marvel. So yeah, we'll talk a bit about the movie and then the trivia, because some of these we've talked about quite a bit. So Captain Marvel, it's fine.
It's alright. Jude Law's in it.
He is, in fact. Samuel Jackson CGI looks pretty good.
Not bad.
Coulson Everyone's
Definitely the
favorite.
Who I Want to Be.
Yeah, everyone's favorite idol. Brie Larson's fine. The action's fine. It's all fine. It's an okay movie.
It's an Ant-Man kind of thing, isn't it?
So, trivia number 1.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson improvised checking out the Skrull's junk beneath the sheet. Remember that part where there's like a dead Skrull and he like lifts up the sheet and he's like,
right.
huh. Gives a little bit of an eyebrow. Or trivia 2, Samuel L. Jackson hates cats and so only CGI cats could be used for the film. Because remember there's that cat that scratches the face.
Well, see, that cat...
See, I've started with a bit of a tricky one. I decided it gets significantly less tricky as it goes, but I decided to actually try on this one. Because the cat does look like shit sometimes, like a bad CGI cat. So...
Well, yeah, because it has to be CGI sometimes, right? Because it does things.
So think about it. It does things. Good analysis.
Pumbaa speaks.
What a deep cut.
I don't think he's got a thing of being afraid of cats, so I think he improvised the Skrull thing.
Well, you are correct. But in fact, little sneaky thing here, Brie Larson is allergic to cats. So in all of her scenes with the cat, they had to use CGI or puppets.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Next up, Jonathan Wickathan, Chapter 3 and Parabellum. No, just...
Oh, sorry. That's my bad.
It was so funny. It was so good. It was one of my best gags.
A great movie.
Well, I would disagree.
Do you not think it's a good movie?
No, I think it's a good movie. But I don't think it's a great movie.
I think it's the best movie. I think it's the least good of the 3.
Yes.
But still a good one. Like, I would not say it's a bad sequel.
I think it's good, and I think the best parts of it are better than anything the other films did. Mainly the action. That knife fight at the start.
Oh my god, it's so good.
One of the best action sequences I've ever seen in anything. Mm-hmm. Extremely brutal, extremely well choreographed. Like all the others, but that is like taking it to the next level.
Yeah, I think they go a little bit too far into the whole world of the assassins where he has to like cut his finger off and stuff like that.
And he meets like a magic assassin man in the desert. Yeah.
And a little bit weird.
I think, the story-wise, it's definitely the weakest, and that's what drags it down for me. And like the sequel baity ending, I was a bit like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I'm most down.
You pissed?
I really like that. I was like,
I didn't
pissed, John? Yeah.
He sounds very enthusiastic for a man who just fell off like a skyscraper.
Yeah, how did he survive that?
Yeah,
he's John Wick, so you know.
Fair. I mean, so action-wise,
Pimento's in it.
Of course, Mantzoukas.
Isn't
that his name? Jason Mantzoukas.
Odd.
Jason Mazoukas.
Jason Sudeikis?
That's the one I'm thinking of. No. Shut the fuck up.
God, what a turn.
But yeah, action-wise, I think it's the best. I do think they peak a little early with the action with that knife fight, and like he pats a horse and it kicks a dude in the head. That's pretty fucking epic.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, there's a lot of assassins asking for other assassins and to see assassin company leaders or whatever. I'm just like, John Wick is a problem. I'm gonna kill you. Talk to my assassin
friend,
boss, dude. So yeah. It's it's still good.
I like Fishburne.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. Like the action compensates for the not great story, but it's definitely the weakest. Like it's better than most average action movies.
Yeah. What do you think of the Winston betrayal?
I didn't really feel anything about it. I was like, that's kind of sad because I like Winston and John teaming up. That was a delightful part at the end where Winston's just chilling and
he's chilling with some wine. And
isn't his name Vincent?
Is it Vincent?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. But yeah, he's chilling with the wine, and then,
Winston.
That's a very... the bish.
Ferguson.
That's a very delightful scene. But yeah, I will say, I think I'm a bit harsh on it, because it's John Wick. Because most, like, bad action movies, like, the action's whatever, and the story's whatever. This one, the story's whatever, and the action's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's still a step above. I haven't rewatched it. Like, I've rewatched the action scenes on YouTube, but I haven't, like, rewatched the movie. So Trivia 1.
Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne was paid $680 million to be in this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of anything better, all right? Now that's the one I picked. Or Trivia 2, Halle Berry broke 3 ribs while filming the film.
That's false.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, Lawrence Fishburne
I know what Lawrence demands.
was paid double the budget of Infinity War.
God.
I mean, he deserves it for being in the movie for 30 seconds.
For being pissed.
You pissed?
You pissed, John?
Well, speaking of average action movies, Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, good movie.
Elba?
It's exactly what
You thought it was gonna be.
we thought it would be, which
It's still good.
is still like I. That's why I feel like I shouldn't complain about it too much because like it gave us everything we wanted.
It delivered what we thought.
It had the
deliver.
banter.
It did
had
not
the fun
surprise
action.
though.
Yeah, and it didn't. That
Not
stuff.
overwhelm.
That stuff wasn't as good as like, or like as. I don't know. I think in Fast and Furious 8, where they had the Dwayne Statham banter, it was so fun because like we weren't really expecting that. It was like a. It was like a good.
And it came in small doses. You
yeah,
know?
and in this one, it was all.
We
sort
were
of
actually
like,
overloaded.
well,
on
when
Hobbs
he's
and
like,
Shaw.
and also it doesn't feel as natural, I guess. Like in Fate of the Furious, when he's like, "I'm gonna kick my foot up your ass. You're gonna.
I'm gonna stick a kick in my foot up your ass."
And then in this one, he's like, I hate your face. Your face is so ugly.
I don't know why I don't like working with you. It's your nasally voice.
Yeah, like it's not as.
It's kind of on the
like
nose.
there's some funny moments between them, but it worked better in the trailer. You know, like in the movie, it just kind of feels like a couple moments in Tafaz felt a little bit like where they were trying to have banter, unlike us who have always banter.
Who have.
But generally, it is fun. The action's fun and Fast and Furious-y.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous and stupid, but enjoyable. It's a bit too
But I
long.
like it.
The film. Idris is a pretty decent villain. Vanessa Kirby's good in it. She's actually like the standout performance.
I really do like Vanessa Kirby in general. She's very good. Going back to the previous pod episode, should have put her on there. But I don't know how much I like the whole turn they're taking, where like with like enhanced humans, where Idris can like basically be Black Superman, as he calls himself.
It's literally like a
Blooperman.
as what's his name, Tyrese would call him.
Blant and Blooperman team up.
But yeah, it gets more supernatural, like overtly so, because it is already supernatural what they're able to survive. But now it's like kind of acknowledging it and like,
I don't
going
like it.
for it.
I think
it's a little less.
Yeah, I don't know.
It makes it less unique, I guess.
It doesn't feel like it fits into the world, because now they'll have to like. I feel like they have to acknowledge in the next Fast and Furious, be like, oh.
Remember that f***ing superhuman who we fought?
Yeah, like there's an actual enhanced dude out there.
Yeah, John Cena doesn't seem so bad now once we've dealt with that f***ing dude.
Yeah.
Also, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart make inexplicable cameos.
I do like that.
I like the Reynolds one.
You don't like the Hart one?
I mean, it was okay, but it was not as...
I do. Reynolds was better, I think.
Yeah.
And the dude from...
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Hart was fine. It was a bit... They were just... I think Dwayne was just like, yeah, I'd like having Kevin Hart around, so like put him in this movie.
No, genuinely, there was no reason for him to be there.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I would like
Reynolds,
to see?
big reason.
Hart, Statham team up. Get Dwayne out of there. Dwayne...
Take a hike?
Dwayne and Reynolds, Hart, Statham. Perfect team up.
Ooh.
I've done it.
That's a shout, you know.
I've done a thing here. Trivia 1.
All right.
Idris Elba refused to say the scripted line for his character, calling himself the Black James Bond. Instead, he used the phrase Black Superman. Trivia 2. Idris Elba and Dwayne Johnson hated each other on set, but they ended up bonding over their mutual hatred of Jason Statham. Which we all know is true.
Yeah, you just put two truths in here.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I think they wanted him to say the Black James Bond thing because there have been like rumors forever that he was going to be James Bond.
That'd be such a cool reveal though. In a different movie, be like, yo, I'm the next James Bond.
But like literally though, like not even.
Yeah, like
I'm not even joking.
Fourth wall break. This ain't a joke though.
Pulls up his Instagram post. No, look at it. I
am.
So yeah, I guess he didn't want to ruin his chances and or go with the meme, so he went with Black Superman instead, which also makes more sense.
Yeah,
because James Bond doesn't really do what he does in that film.
Yeah, it's not really.
So
at
bad
all.
Writing.
So good on you, Idris, for changing that.
So Idris, you're a better writer than the writers of Hobbs and Shaw. Next up, God, this f***ing chair. By the way, is that chair comfortable enough? I'm sorry I gave you kind of like the chair.
No, I'm dying.
Yeah, okay, let's.
No, it's totally fine.
That's what I thought. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Pitt, DeCap, Taron.
I torched the last one. A great movie.
Yes.
Quite slow, but
yeah,
not in a bad way.
No, yeah, it I can see why some people didn't like it and thought it was boring.
Yeah.
And, quote, didn't get it, which someone told me yesterday. And I slapped him.
Okay, good.
But,
slapped him silly.
But, I feel like it builds well.
It does build well.
It builds the world well. It builds the tension well. And, like, it builds, because it's Tarantino, he does it well enough where it's not, in my opinion, even though not a lot is happening story-wise, it's not boring, because his writing's so good. And it's also, it's funny. Like, I mean, it has... I saw it twice in the cinema, which, like, I wouldn't do if it was a really...
No.
You madman. Which, you know, for a really long movie, I wouldn't do if it was,
How long
like,
is it? Like
boring.
2.5?
Yeah, 2.5, 2:45. But, like, yeah, it has, like, the, you know, the Kurt Russell, the Bruce Lee bit. And, like, it has an insane finale, which is what most people remember. But I think building up to it, it was still pretty good.
It's still good.
And that's what makes it such a fun finale.
Well, yeah, the finale would not have packed so much of a punch.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been, like, the slow yet good build-up.
Yeah. And it's
He would not have torched the last one.
And it's such a... Yeah, I mean, I get why also some people would say, like, how is that funny? Like, it's, you know, super dark and gruesome. But also, it's so much fun, Jan!
Because it's so much fun, Jan. Get it!
But yeah, I remember, especially because I feel like that really appeals also to the Danish sense of humor. Yeah. So I remember I was in the cinema and everyone was just laughing hysterically. Because it's so insane and so violent that, like, how can you not laugh?
How can you not laugh? Jan.
It's so ridiculous. But yeah. And great performances throughout. Mm-hmm. Margot Robbie's great. Although, like, it can be argued she doesn't get a ton to do. But, yeah, I mean, okay, yes. There are a couple of pacing, like, a few little pacing issues. And, like, you can argue the disconnect between some plot lines, especially the Sharon Tate one, is a little odd narrative-wise. Like, historically and kind of, like, what they were trying to accomplish with the film, it works, I think, but, like, just as a story, it's a little odd, and Brad Pitt does drive around a lot, but I don't think I don't think it's that egregious. I think if you don't know the story behind it to begin with, it'd be a bit weird. Yeah. But I think it's good. Trivia 1. An extended sequence of shirtless Brad Pitt was removed from the film as it was deemed too sexual. Don't look at me like that, you ruined it. As it was deemed too sexual and had the danger of, quote, impregnating everyone in the audience. Or Trivia 2. Okay. Brad Pitt ad-libbed the line, "You're Rick f***ing Dalton, don't you forget that." Pitt based that line on an actor who told him the same thing when he was a budding actor in the early 90s.
That sounds so unrealistic. That second one. Well,
can you imagine someone saying, "You're Brad f***ing Pitt, don't you f***ing forget it"? Because I can. I can imagine. I said that to you. But I still say Brad Pitt.
No, exactly. And I don't forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, do I need to say anything?
I mean,
obviously he was not allowed that shirtless scene.
Obviously everyone still got pregnant in the audience.
Yeah, so
including the two of us. Gemini Man, next up. This was
a bit of a stinker.
Well, this was also holds like a especially dark place in hell for me because this was the first movie that Woody's closed down. Where we got there. We got to Woody's, planning on eating there. And then wait, did we? Because then we would have had to buy the tickets. So why did we come by Woody's literally just to like pay our respects? Because we did do that. We poured out a drink and everything. Because we're very weird people. Because we definitely went to Woody's that day, but I don't think that was when we discovered it had been closed.
No, we might have discovered it. Oh, no, I think...
Because then we had to take the train all the way to the city.
I think I just... Oh, right. I think I realized before that it was closed because I went to see another movie. I think we went by just in case. Mm-hmm. But we were still planning on seeing it at the other cinema anyway. Right.
And so, yeah, but anyway, it was a very dark day. We discovered Woody's had been closed. Then we had to go all the way to another cinema, eat one of the worst dinners I've ever had.
Not just quality-wise, but the service was just terrible.
Okay, we're not trying to be those guys. But the service was...
Cafe.
You remember that? I'm going to play that. I don't know if you did. But, because we have so much influence. But, like, the food was... I got this pasta. It was god-awful. It tasted like...
I got a steak that was so...
cardboard.
Like, so... bland and dry and just cafe. Bleep it again.
your steaks and your pasta. And yeah, and the serve. It took so I think we had to tell them we were like, we have to go see a movie.
We have to see.
We've been sitting there for like an hour,
Yeah.
and they gave us the shittiest like
Woody gave us such good service.
Well,
It was like
Woody.
20. It was like 15, 20
Dude,
minutes.
Woody,
And we had it.
and the waiter was like, "Here you go, boys."
Oh,
And we
he's
were
like,
like,
bästa drängen där, man. No.
"God, you ass cafe." Anyway, and then
we title this episode Cafe Long Live Woody.
we put their address. And then the movie was also trash.
Yeah.
And we had to see it at the cinema that we don't even like as much. Which
It
also
was a bad day.
yeah, no offense to that cinema. It's good, but it's not doing good.
No way.
But yeah, the movie. Will Smith is young Will Smith, and then they fight,
And then he's old, and he's even younger.
and then there are two spoilers.
No, so there's.
If I spoiled Gemini Man for you, you. If you're upset about that, sorry, that was way too mean. Go.
Sorry, that was not mean enough. Rot in hell if you like Gemini Man.
But I mean, if you wanted to see Gemini Man, by now you would have seen it. If you care that there are multiple Will Smiths by the end,
I doubt 95% of the audience even knows what a Gemini Man is.
yeah, there are like 8 Will Smiths. No, I mean there are 3 by the end.
Ah, got you. There's not even 8. There's 3.
See, now I haven't spoiled it. There could be 8. There could be 3. Could be none. It was just really bland. There was some okay action, and then there was some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in a film ever. It was like they had spent all the budget on the face CGI, which looks pretty good for most of it, as good as it can look.
With a face like Smith's.
No, like the technology. And then sometimes, like someone, I think there was like a moment on a motorcycle that was just absolute. No offense,
not good.
But it was really bad. I feel like I'm being really mean right now. I think it's because of the spirit of Woody dying is in me. You know, that's my excuse for being kind of a dick right now. Anyway, it's a bad movie. We've talked about it a bunch, I think, but very forgettable.
No, I genuinely don't remember a single thing that happens apart from the fact that there's suddenly a third Smith.
Trivia 1. The original script was written for Clint Eastwood, which for the record, I think maybe could have been more interesting, if I'm honest.
I can see that.
Because also young Clint Eastwood is like... Because Will Smith isn't that old.
Well, then it would have been more difficult to de-age, wouldn't it?
Like, I feel like it would have been more impactful if it was like a very old actor who then also was very iconic in his younger roles. But anyway, Trivia 2, Wong is in it. Which technically isn't wrong. Yeah, so actually 2 true ones here, but one of them wasn't on IMDb. Guess which one it was.
Wong is in this movie.
He is, though.
Well, yeah, but...
Benedict Wong, that is. Name's Wong.
Benedict
Wong, that is. Also, it does contain the great line, "You made a person out of another person." Why do we both sound like McConaughey?
You made a Pearson out of another McPearson.
Then, oh god, we have to speed run these a bit. Alright, Knives Out. Amazing film. See, look at this. What a bump up. We went from Gemini Man, trash, and in cinema we don't really like. No offense,
Now
Gemini
that's hooey.
that's hooey. In the cinema we do love. Lingber Bio, shout out. Very good.
Nice.
My favorite movie of 2019, I think. Just so much fun. It was like it was a Get Out-esque
Jet out.
Woody, because it was an amazing film that also had meme potential.
It did.
It was like an amazing film on its own, like if we just saw it individually, and then seeing it together, it created a whole other layer of hooey.
Of hooey.
Hooey. That was hooey.
Now that is hooey.
Also, have you seen the Knives Out 2 cast getting slowly announced? Slowly dropped into a volcano.
Every week, one of them dies.
It's so far Dave Bautista, Janelle Monáe, Edward Norton,
Oh, right?
Catherine Hahn.
I do like Catherine Hahn.
Knives Out. I mean, we've talked about it a ton, so we'll just breeze over this, but super fun mystery. Great characters throughout. Really well written.
Yeah, not really a mystery, though. Kind of a mystery, but in a different...
No, yeah, like a unique take on a mystery.
On a whodunit.
Yeah, like a, not a... Hooey.
Not a hooey.
Not a...
Not a Spongy's friend. Huey. Hooey.
Damn, there were layers to that.
Oh, yeah,
my brain's dead. I would not have gotten that very soon. Great performances, super funny, well shot and like well directed. Great film and great accent from Benoit.
Benoit Blanc.
Now that is who.
I do not know.
I suspect Foul play.
No suspects have been eliminated. That's who.
Genuinely the worst podcast. I hope one day our podcast wins some kind of award, so I can just go up and be like, "How did you let this happen?"
That's f***ing Huey, that is.
Anyway, trivia 1. I don't even want to read this.
I'll read it then. Trivia 1. The original title for this film was Benoit Blanc and the Mystery of the Murdered Plumberman. That is one of the stupidest things I've ever read. And the Mystery of the Murdered Plumberman.
The Plumberman sounds like a sequel to the Wellerman.
Next sea shanty.
God.
What does that say? Ryan Johnston contemplated cutting Blanc's donut speech, but Craig convinced him that it was good. Watching the actor deliver it it sold him on keeping the entire thing.
So there you go. It used to be called The Plumberman. So yeah, Craig saved the best part of that film. Then Bad Boys for Life, and these next few we can really breeze through because we have whole episodes talking about this stuff. So really, this is just mostly just the trivia stuff. But Bad Boys for Life, it's fine. It's whatever.
It's certainly a step down from the first two.
Yeah, but it was kind of fun though. Yeah. I enjoyed it until the end when it got really dumb and they were fighting his son or something.
Spoilers. Yeah, he had a son.
Spoilers. Whoops. Trivia 1. Will Smith was paid $17 million for this role, whilst Martin Lawrence received $6 million for his.
Okay.
Which, if that is the true one, kind of sad.
Kind of sad.
But
I
also
don't
fair.
doubt it, though.
I mean, to be fair.
I mean, who do you go there for? Certainly not Martin Lawrence, and it's like erectile dysfunction.
You have to be mean. Also, that's in the movie, just to be clear. Not
his...
Not his actual... not that he has that, but I mean, yeah, Will Smith is a bigger star, obviously. I feel like we just shouldn't have. We just keep digging it deeper. Like I thought we were gonna be nicer here, and then we just keep being like, Martin Lawrence is not a big star. Trivia 2: Martin Lawrence says making the film changed his life dramatically for the worse, but it's never given any details. I just like the idea of him saying that and then never elaborating. So it's just
I genuinely
a mystery.
These could both be true. I'll have to say that I think Smith was given $17 million.
He was.
Because this movie would change anyone's life for the better.
Yeah, exactly. Then The Gentleman, really a film we literally have an entire video where we watch the movie.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Hunnam. So sexy.
I mean,
that's all I have to say.
Not wrong. McConaughey, we're just naming people who's in it at this point, but super fun. Go watch the Ben and Fred watch of it and all the other times we talked about it. Great film. I didn't actually come up with any fake trivia for it. There was just so much good real trivia that I wanted to just share some of this.
Hit me with it.
It's actually pretty fantastic. First of all, to help with this long... This is from IMDb, by the way. To help with his long, monologue-heavy shoots, Hugh Grant wrote a cheat sheet. The night before he was scheduled to shoot, his car was broken into, the robber took his script and the cheat sheet, so Grant needed to go without them. So what a weird story.
What?
And why does he leave his script in his car?
And why would someone want to steal it?
And how did someone get into Hugh Grant's car? And only take the cheat sheet?
How is he allowed to drive?
He's insane. So yeah, that's absurd.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant, he had never met Matthew McConaughey on the set of The Gentleman and only met him when they were on the same Graham Norton show. So just interesting since they technically don't share any scenes, I believe.
That's weird to think about.
Yeah. So unfortunate for McConaughey that he had to meet him at all.
Yeah. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Hunnam and Grant didn't meet.
They just shot them completely separately. Raymond's Grill, which features heavily in the film.
Raymond's Grill sounds like a documentary.
A great restaurant we would go to. Was designed by Guy Ritchie. So
was it?
Also, I have to say, now that I think about it, a bit self-serving where there's a whole line of dialogue where they're like, oh, it's really cool. It heats your legs and you can cook a steak.
He just wanted to burn Hugh Grant.
Yeah, he didn't tell him it was on. So yeah, that's pretty good. I just thought you'd like it because also we love the Any chance of a steak?
Any chance of a steak? Yeah, I got some Wagyu.
I've never had Wagyu.
It'll be wasted on you, but it's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I know up to.
Thank you, Mommy. Wank into a hanky.
Though never mentioned in the movie, fans found an Easter egg, which didn't specify what it is, probably like a piece of paper or something in some scene, revealing that Fletcher's real name is Peter, or his first name is Peter, so I guess his last name is Fletcher. Peter Fletcher.
Peter Fletcher.
He looks a bit like a Peter, isn't he?
I can see
Bit of a rat man, that Peter.
Peter Fletcher.
Yeah, Peter Fletcher's such a ratty... No offense to people called Peter. Called Peter Fletcher.
All the Peter Fletchers flock.
Again, I just love how Grant...
Where is this Easter egg?
I think there's probably some piece of paper, like in a file, like when the coach has that. What do you think this is, you f***ing idiot? But, what's it called? Yeah, I love how Grant, super handsome dude, and, like, lovely, sexy British man, and then in this one,
you
he's
can
just
play
like
the rattiest,
gross,
little,
ratty man.
Gross man.
Yeah. Coach.
No offense if he was going for something else. Yeah.
He was going for his sexiest role yet. Coach was originally going to have 4 fingers on one hand, which would have played into the 4 moment.
Ooh.
So, and in the original draft, Raymond was known only as Posh Pete. So a lot of Pete's going on here.
Yeah, I don't love it.
I prefer Raymond Smith.
Raymond Smith.
Then we move on to the New Mutants. Bad movie, not very good.
Not great movie.
Kind of funny, but not great.
Not intentionally. So.
No, definitely not.
No, they have no humor.
Yeah, it was sort of fun to watch, like, with my podcast co-host, but as a movie, not very good. Bit of a mess, not great CGI.
Bit of a mess, Miggerson.
Bit of a mess, Miggerson. Bad story, and giant demon bear at the end, which was kind of epic.
Yep.
But not, I think, in the way they intended.
Yes.
Trivia. I'll just be honest. This is the real one. I just put in here because I was like, who wrote this? Ileana carries a dragon toy. This is an homage to Lockheed, a pet dragon owned by the X-Men. In the comics, he was owned by blah, blah, blah. So, that is Lockheed, isn't it? She has the toy dragon.
Yeah.
And then when she goes superpowered, that turns into an actual little dragon. It's like, that's what the film was going. They're like, this Easter egg that, like, she had a pet dragon, which in the comic shit, that's like,
I thought it did turn.
She
into
did. It turned into.
She had it.
What the f*** IMDb? So maybe I've misunderstood this, but I was just like, well, duh. It's like Tony Stark has an arc reactor in his chest, which in the comics he has this suit that comes from the arc. It's like, what the f*** IMDb? This is such an aggressive episode. I'm sorry. Again, it's the spirit of Woody's death in me that's making me so awful. Anyway, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I'm the idiot. I don't know. Probably.
The giant demon bear wasn't CGI, but in fact was Patrick Stewart in a bear suit. God, I think you've enjoyed yourself way too much making these.
I'm not gonna
imagine
lie.
that.
I did, yeah.
You know he's not circumcised.
You bring this up every time we talk about Patrick Stewart, which is surprisingly often. You know, he may or may not be circumcised. I'm like, good for him. I've seen the clip as well. If you don't know what we're talking about, don't look up Patrick Stewart penis.
Patrick Stewart penis.
But look up the Graham Norton clip. And finally, Freaky.
A brilliant movie.
Vince Vaughn, pretty fun. Genuinely, like, not a bad. It's a whatever movie, kind of like a fun summer house.
It doesn't take itself very seriously,
like,
which is why
sleepover kind of movie. But yeah, and fun for Woody. I now have a Vince Vaughn cutout in my room,
yes,
which is great. Which recently I was asked by a friend if that was Tom Hanks. Long story there, but in the end I said
yes.
I said yes because it would be much easier to explain. No, yeah, and also the last one we saw until a couple of days from now when we're recording this, and a few days ago. When this goes up, we're going back for a Woody for Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man.
But this was the last one back in November because cinemas have been closed since then. Anyway.
God, 6 months without a Woody.
Yeah. I wish it was longer. No, I missed Woody so much. It's gonna be pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. But yeah, pretty fun movie.
Huh.
So, Trivia 1. Director co-writer Christopher Landon proposed a crossover movie with Happy Death Day called Freaky Death Day. Ooh. Which I think you would like because you like Happy Death Day.
Yeah, I do like Happy Death Day. I'll be down.
Connected universe. Vince Vaughn actually wanted to cut off the skin of Catherine Newton and wear it when he was playing Millie, but the director said it wouldn't look realistic enough. So, it would be pretty absurd if they made a crossover with Happy Death Day.
It sounds good in my head, but I just can't even see it. This second one, though, is just...
It's a known fact. Vince Vaughn wants to do that with any movie, even if it's not a body swap film. So, yeah.
Well, damn.
So we've caught up on all the Woody's films.
God, it'll be cool to
see how this list expands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we've missed one also. Maybe I've just forgotten to put one in there. Spectre, we never talked about. So yeah, and we started doing these Woody's episodes like all the way back in 2018. So we finally completed the saga, and of course there'll be more to come as we go. So yeah, now it's time for
the Time Cnews.
Since this is recorded on May 15th, so a long time ago, we're just going to look up a Tom Cruise fact and...
How fast can Tom Cruise run?
Where does it say that?
Go down.
How fast can Tom Cruise run?
Around 17 miles per hour.
Well, I don't know how, yeah.
Do miles to kilometer converter. Miles teller.
That's 27...
What? That is...
Wait,
that can't be right. That's really slow.
17 miles per hour, 27 kilometers. Let's see, 27 divided by 60. It's 45 meters in a minute.
No, that's 450 meters in a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That'd be worrying. That would be... God damn. Poor Tom. He's walking around with like multiple fractures and broken bones.
450 meters per minute.
Like, but that's in a sprint. He can't actually do that, you know. Like, this is his top speed. I think I can run at 36 top speed. Or 35. They're about kilometers an hour.
Ah, so you're faster than Cruise. But you also have way longer legs and like...
And I'm younger.
Taller. Yeah.
True, so...
But still.
I mean, it's good for an elderly man.
I mean, yeah, Tom Cruise does a lot of impressive stuff for, 50, however old he is, 55 or something. But yeah, all right. Expected better, but
aight.
I'll tell you, yeah, get on Cruise. All right, so that's the Tom Cnews, I guess. Now it's time for the announcements inside. Hooey.
Hooey.
Now it's time for the... So yeah, I don't know, I hope we didn't offend. I like how the Tom Cnews is like one part celebration of Tom Cruise, one part roast. Like, I don't really know what it is.
But it's like a roast where we don't mean it in a bad way.
It's kind of a loving roast.
Yeah.
Besides the part where we call him like a weird freak man. We never done that until now.
Until now, and I mean it.
I don't mean it. So anyway, good on Cruise, I guess. Now it's time for the announcements and such recorded. I mean, well, this was recorded 2 weeks ago. Here are the announcements that are more up to date. All right, it's a one-man announcements and such segment this week because unfortunately, due to circumstances, Freddie and I could not record the announcements and such. Kinda sucks. I know I'm the worst part of this podcast, but luckily there aren't too many announcements and such this week. First of all, like I mentioned at the top, Cian's new pod video, awesome, hilarious, about the lighthouse. Check it out, link down below. Just a wonderful time. Anurag says we need Freddie's thoughts on Venom 2 trailer, which you will get, because I think the next episode we do will be a news and mini reviews kind of thing. There were also, as usual, great comments on the previous pod. Some people wondering where Cruise and Peg were on our favorite actors list. I am sorry for not honoring the legacy of Cruise and Peg. Huge mistake on our part. And I don't believe there were any new posts on the fan page, but there are always, fun stories there and everything. So follow the fan pages, link down below. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're listening there, we're on YouTube at the Poorly Planned Podcast, where we post exclusive content sometimes. And the podcast with pod videos and Ben and Fred watches and fun stuff. So yeah, back to the pod. Wow.
Whoa.
What announcements. I can't believe
that's
it.
Crazy. Can't believe that GC Green met Tom Cruise and then raced him and then
off a cliff. But did GC Green survive though?
And Tom Cruise did too.
So
this is terrible.
Speaking of, we're great at banter. God, sorry about that. Sorry, GC. Didn't mean to bring you into our banter. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_adult Sniper. You can find me on Instagram at FDalagor, and you can find me on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
What? This is the people, not a place.